There, everybody on YouTube and on Facebook. This is Amberola1B coming to you with a short video on a Zenith radio phonograph that I'm trying to restore. Now, I've already recapped and restuffed a capacitor can in the amplifier, and then I restrung the tuning dial, and that works properly. This tuning dial has two strings on it, one on the smaller part of the tuning capacitor wheel that goes to this little wheel here on the dial pointer that's screwed to the speaker. And then on the larger wheel, it's got another tuning string that goes to this tuning shaft that just merely turns the tuning capacitor. So that works. And then I worked on trying to redo the turntable, and I got the reject mechanism to work. And one thing I want to say about playing shellac records on an old record changer like this is that you have to have good solid center holes on the records, because if the center holes are enlarged or chipped away at any point, you will get more than one record dropping at a time. And that's sometimes a problem when you're trying to play these old records and you don't realize that you may think it's a fault of the machine when it may just be the record. But anyway, I wanted to show you how the record mechanism works, and here's the little reject button to press, and I'll show you how that works. Okay, dropped one record, and I'm going to replicate the tone arm going across the record. I have the tone arm removed from the shaft. And there we go. And I'm going to press the reject mechanism again. And one more time. Okay, and it's with these old early record changers, it doesn't have an automatic off switch to it, so you have to turn it off manually, otherwise it'll just play the same last record over and over again. And this isn't the original speaker that came with this machine, because unfortunately a mouse had lived in here at some point, and he had left mouse droppings and urinated on the chassis and kind of left some rust spots, which I tried to de-rust using some navel jelly and then to sand it smooth, and got it looking fairly good. It looks better than it did anyway. And this isn't the original speaker, like I said. The original one was slightly more narrow than this one, and it had some of the speaker cone paper chewed away from the mouse. So I figured there's no sense in trying to save it, so I just removed it and put this one in. Now, the original speaker was attached to the chassis by these little screw holes right here. And so it had like a little bracket hanging off the speaker that you could screw it to the chassis that way. But this one didn't have it, so I just merely epoxied it to the chassis, and now it holds it nice and steady. And I have a makeshift antenna hooked up. It's an antenna from another radio or wire recorder or something. I don't remember what it was from, but I hooked up the antenna leads to it so I could show you how the radio sounds. So I'm just going to take it out of phonograph mode and show you what the radio sounds like.
That's where we're going to come to a very interesting change in the last 15 years. It used to be that we could take, in the 80s and 90s, we could kind of take access to... Customers can get a free bottle.
El hombre que llega al cajón de bateo, batea 200, en esta round robin no tiene cuadrangulares y dos carreras producidas. Los Tigres cocinando...
And remember how Hillary Clinton said a few weeks back at a Democratic debate that video of the Donald was being used by ISIS as a recruitment tool? Well, back then she was wrong. Nobody could find any. But now, apparently, Al-Qaeda, an Al-Qaeda offshoot, is using... WCBS News Time, 6:50.
Did you know there is a gourmet diet delivery program where you can eat pancakes, pizza, cheesecake, lasagna, and still lose weight? Well, now you do.
Real Italian taste, the way sausage should be, and by your New Jersey Devils.
The Prudential Center in downtown
Devils hockey, as tonight the Devils skied against the Dallas Stars. The Devils have won 2 straight, but tonight they face the team with the most points, the best record.
And there's one local station that is really loud, so I turned down the sound.
And you'll notice this isn't your run-of-the-mill laundromat.
And this is it.
Let's start with cleanliness. North End staff keeps the environment as clean and spotless as you would like your clothes. And they have new state-of-the-art machines. North End Suds is safe with multiple 24-hour surveillance cameras and full-time staff. Your laundry and you are completely protected. No time to do your own laundry? North End Suds.
A lot of options in life to pursue whatever gives your life meaning and happiness.
And 3.
Special gift pack that includes a Squatty Potty toilet stool, a refresher bidet, and a bottle of Sweet Lou toilet spray. In Westerly, on Route 91 southbound, under the Chapman Pond.
And I'm sure once it gets the original internal speaker, which is the original internal antenna hooked up to it, which is right here, I'm sure it can be, turned in a direction where you can get the signal in a little stronger. Plus, it's nighttime right now, so it's a little tougher to find distant stations. But anyway, this is what the cabinet that this radio phonograph came in, and this is what it looks like. It's in really sad shape, and it was in an antique store, and the guy wanted only $5 for it. So how could I pass it up? And this is what the front of it looks like. Gonna need a total restoration. And the unusual and interesting thing about this cabinet is that when you lift up the lid, it goes back. And as you can see over here, there's a little bit of velour that was apparently glued to the frame of the case so that when the lid goes back, it won't scratch or mar the lid hinge or the lid itself. And this is the internal part of the machine. And I had to clean out a lot of mouse droppings and the little other pieces of crap that the mouse dragged in here. But I got it looking better than it was. It's still kind of rusty, but I wasn't into repainting the chassis or anything. I just wanted to get it working. And I think it works pretty good so far. The other unusual thing about this phonograph is you can't really see it too well, but it's chain driven for the reject. Now let me show you. If I can hold my camera on my cell phone straight. And that's how it works. Do it one more time. Pretty unusual, but it looks like it works pretty effectively and pretty reliably. Anyway, this is Ambrola 1B signing off, and I will get back to you when I get another portion of this radio phonograph working and restored. Hopefully I can get another cartridge for the tone arm. Cross my fingers and cross yours. Anyway, this is Ambrola 1B signing off. Bye-bye.